Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Katie Cooks Easy Recipes. Today I'm going to be showing you this show-stopping pea and mint risotto with buttered scallops. I hope you enjoy it. This is a really lovely dish that's going to really impress whoever you cook it for. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to crack on with is the risotto. So we're going to get a nice knob of butter into a pan and get that heated up. I'm going in with one diced shallot here, and we're going to gently cook that over a medium heat until it's softened slightly. We don't want any colour at all, so we just want it nice and soft, and then we're going to go in with some garlic. So I'm adding in one garlic clove that I've crushed. That'll add a lovely flavour to the dish. I'm cooking this recipe video, it's just one portion. But you can find the full list of ingredients and method on my website katiecooks.co.uk or in the caption of this video. So once your garlic's nice and fragrant, after a minute or so, add your risotto rice and just get that stirred around till it's coated. And then we're going to go in with a good splash of dry white wine. Once you've added the wine to the pan, turn the heat up. We want to cook it on a slightly higher heat because we need the alcohol to cook out of the dish. And then once the wine has all but disappeared, you know that the alcohol is definitely cooked out. So now we're going to start adding our hot chicken stock, one ladle at a time. We're going to let the rice slowly soak that in, giving it a stir frequently. A really great tip I got from Angela Hartnett when I was on the cooking show on the BBC is that there's no need to add cream to the end of a risotto dish. By stirring it often as it's soaking in the stock, all the grains of rice will rub together, they'll release their starch, and that's where you get that creamy texture from for a delicious risotto. Also, keep your pan on a medium heat. If you turn the heat up too high, the rice isn't going to absorb the stock, it's actually going to evaporate. So you want to keep it nice and low, and then after each ladle of stock's been soaked up, then just add another ladle, and so on and so forth until your rice is pretty much cooked. While keeping one eye on your rice and giving it a stir, we're going to gently cook some peas, and we're just going to cook those for a couple of minutes. We want them nice and fresh and green, get them drained, and then we're going to blitz them up. So add pretty much all of your peas, just reserve a tablespoon or two for garnishes at the end of this. So pop them into a pot, and then you want to add some roughly chopped mint, a little splash of your chicken stock that you're using for your risotto, and then we're just going to blitz that up until we get it a lovely paste as smooth as possible. And then when you get it as smooth as you can like this, you've got lovely pea puree. We're just going to keep that to one side, and we're going to add that into our risotto at the end. Next up, we're going to start preparing our scallops for cooking. It's important that you pat dry your scallops and that you season them really, really well, especially if they're frozen ones that you've defrosted. They will have quite a lot of water on them, so get them lovely and patted dry, and then add really, really generously some salt and pepper on both sides. And always make sure that your scallops are room temperature before you start cooking them. It's no good them being freezing cold in the middle because we're cooking them so fast at such a high heat. So get some oil into a non-stick pan and put it on a very high heat until it's absolutely searing hot. Then put your scallops in, and for scallops this size, we're going to cook those for 2 minutes on this side, and we're not going to touch them at all. They're going to form a really delicious golden crust. So that's 2 minutes. Set a timer, don't touch them. After the 2 minutes, turn them over, and we're going to cook them firstly for a minute without touching them. And then I'm going to go in with a big knob of butter that I'm going to let melt, get lovely and foamy, lovely and brown, and then we're going to baste them for a further 30 seconds. Basting them with butter not only adds colour, but it adds a lovely, lovely flavour to the scallops. And you should be able to tell when your scallops cooked because it will feel not too firm, but not soft. It will feel just springy as you go to touch it. A scallop this kind of size will take around about 4 minutes to cook, so 2 minutes initially on the first side without touching it, then turn them over another minute and then baste them for kind of 30 to 40 seconds, and then you should have gorgeous, perfectly cooked scallops. I'm going to show you a photo in a minute of a scallop that I've cut in half. That one half is obviously still raw and one half is perfectly cooked, and that's what you should be looking for when you slice into your scallops if you want to check it before eating. So once you're happy with your scallops, remove them from the pan and just let them rest for a minute while we finish our risotto. But first, here's that picture. Obviously the scallop on the left is raw, the scallop on the right is perfectly cooked. You can see the raw scallop on the left is translucent and the cooked one is opaque with a lovely golden crust. While your scallops are resting, we'll go back to the risotto, which is looking absolutely perfect. And what we're going to do now is add our pea puree into that. We add it at the last minute because we don't want the peas to continue to cook and then go a bit of a dull colour. We want them to be vibrant and green. So get that all scraped in there and then just stir that through until it looks so fresh and inviting like this. Now it's time for plating up. A great tip, and when you know your risotto's right, is you should be able to pour it onto a plate like this. If you have to spoon it on, then your risotto's a little bit too dry. So we're going to get a nice generous portion of that into a lovely bowl, and then we're going to pop on our lovely golden scallops. And now I'm going to show you how we're going to take this meal from a delicious but basic looking home cooked meal into something that you would pay a considerable amount of money for in a restaurant. I mean, look how much better does that look. So this is what we're going to do just by adding a few garnishes. First of all, we're going to pop on those little peas that we saved from one side, and not only do they look really lovely, they're actually going to add a real pop of fresh flavour as you're eating the meal, and they're actually really delicious. And one of my favourite things to add to a meal to make it look really special is fresh pea shoots. You can see literally now as I'm popping them on the plate, they are just turning this dish into something spectacular. I'm sure whoever you're cooking this for will absolutely love it when you put this in front of them. And then the last thing I like to add to this particular meal, because it's a pea and mint risotto, are just some of the little baby mint leaves. I'm using tweezers to put these on because they're so tiny, but I'm just trying to be chefy. You don't need to use tweezers, but it kind of looks cool. And then you end up with this delicious pea and mint risotto with perfectly cooked scallops. If you enjoyed this, then please subscribe for more great recipes.